Oh, yeah, straight away. Hello, and today we're looking at this ROLAND ARIA System-1 plug-out synthesizer. And there it is. So let's get that out. I think we need to first of all check that this is working and check what the inputs are on there. Let's see whether it's center positive or center negative. We've got power. Try center positive first. Minus 6 volts, so it's center negative. And there's a power switch. It's power on. And absolutely nothing. I'm expecting some green glowing. So the power is definitely on. And nothing. Okay. Right, there's only one thing for it. Don't try and stop me. We need to take it apart. 26 screws here. This may take some time. I thought for one moment I was going to have to take all of those off. Right, so we've got some ribbon cables there. You won't be able to see this, but okay, so let's look where, first of all, where this comes in. So we've got our input jack here and our switch. I think this is a fuse here, so let's test that first. So, interesting. Don't tell me this is just going to be a fuse. Question is, why did the fuse blow? Do you know what? I don't think I've got any fuses. Okay, so we know the fuse is gone, so we need to replace that. Okay, what some of these are, let's see if we can zoom in a bit. Just do this to a couple of others. Just see if we can see what they are. U27 or H27, one of the two. There's another 0 ohm resistor. Let's check this one. It's fine. I don't think there's any other fuses there. Check this one as well. Fine. There's another one. Cool. Okay, I think the first thing we'll do then is let's get this fuse off of here. Looks like possibly a 1206. Oh, a little bit of flux. Right, let's check this now. So we'll do it on the point, so we can use this point because it connects to there. And there is a good connection there. I guess the one question you have to ask is, why did it blow in the first place? Was it simply that somebody plugged in the wrong power supply, or was it something slightly more sinister? Okay, I guess the way we find out. Before we go any further, I've just caught something here. This cable here, not in the best of condition. What's going on there? I know that's just a little plastic bit, but and that one's shorted out, shorting out to the next one. Let's plug it in, we'll see if it works, and I might see if I can find another cable. Now we should lift this up really, just in case anything goes. Oh, yeah, straight away. Oh, God, it stinks. Okay, we've got a short somewhere. May have put in the wrong fuse. I think we can see where that came from. So from here, you see the marks on the top. So the thing is that this fuse is possibly rated too high for this circuit. So the fuse hasn't gone. So the fuse previously would have blown. So we've almost certainly cooked this one, Q4 now. That's annoying. Let's give it a clean. Here was me thinking I was on for the quickest repair ever. Oh, that's that U27. Right, I found what it is. It's a MOSFET. So we're going to have to go and get one of those. Clearly that's blown. Let's check this 0 ohm resistor next to it. And that's okay. So I think probably okay, but there's something shorted in there. I think what we're going to have to do is get a replacement for that, and then we won't power it up with 5 volts. What we'll do, or the 6 volts, what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of voltage injection. Okay, let's do a little bit of low melt in this one as well. Let's see if there's a short between these pins anywhere. There's no short there. Came off a bit easy. Let's have a look at the capacitors round about, see if anything's shorted there. Nothing immediately obvious in that area. So the question is, yeah, was this just shorted because somebody used the wrong power supply, and by changing the fuse this just let out some smoke? Okay, so that's another one that we're going to have to go and get some parts for. Always the way, and of course I don't have those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a new cable for here. Don't know how many way it is, I'll work it out. I'll count it up and see. We're going to buy some U27s, and I'm going to replace these two, and we'll get some fuses. But what I think I'll do is I'll put U27 on, and then we'll inject one volt into it and see if there's any shorts. That should tell us, I think, if that is the case. Right, okay, I shall go and order that. It's going to take me a couple of weeks, but for you, in the magic of YouTube, it'll be a couple of seconds. So I've managed to get some replacement cables. They should just fit in there nicely, I think. And they are the correct ones. So we'll replace these two. Now, what I found out is that these fuses have different values as well. So I'll put a list up on the screen of the ones that I know about. But I think the T was a 3 amp fuse. And as you see, as it says here, it should be 1.5 amp. So that's probably why Q4 went up in smoke. So I've also managed to get some replacements for Q4. These are some new U27s. There we are, that's U27 on. So I think what we'll do, we'll inject the positive voltage from this side here, and we'll go into the negative, and then let's see if anything comes up there. I think what we'll do is we'll get the thermal camera going, and then we can keep an eye on that as well. Okay, so the little crosshairs will actually move to where the hottest part of the board is. So let's get the power supply ready. 1 volt, and we're seeing nothing. Okay, let's go up to 2 volts. Are we seeing anything? 3 volts, we might start to see something. Okay, I think then with that, what we might do is just put one of the fuses in. I did get a bunch of fuses, but I haven't got a 1.5 amp one. I've got a 1 amp one and a 2 amp one. We're thinking that I might just go with 1 amp one. Okay, so there's the H. What I think we'll do is the fan on again, do the same as what we've just done. Yeah, so that is on there correctly. But what I do have to do is leave that like that. And we'll zoom in because, as you remember what happened last time, it went up. So plug it in and on. Oh, it's working. Look at that. Ah, doesn't it look lovely? Mad. Just that one U27. Might not come across in my voice, but I am absolutely delighted that this works. I paid quite a lot of money for this. And this was right at the start when I started buying stuff. And I thought, what if I never get this thing working? I've spent all this money and I've just wasted it. And look, nearly 2 years later, it's working. Oh, wow. Okay. Just before I screw it all together again, I just want to check that all the keys in the keyboard are working, because the last thing I want to do is put it all back together and then find that the keys need cleaned or whatever. So, okay, straight away. So it's kind of working. Needs. That's definitely not working. Or that, or that. Okay, so those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there are just not working. Okay, glad I did that. Let's go back into it, just make sure the cables are all good, and we'll maybe take this keyboard off and give it a clean underneath. Right, let's take this off. And as we always do, I will clean this with IPA. Right, don't know if that's dirt or whether it's taking up the whatever coatings on there. Let's do this one as well then. Normally this is enough just to give it a clean. Now I need to leave that to dry, try and help it along. Right, let's just test these keys here. Okay, what I'm going to do is just quickly take these keys off again. Okay. So that one's definitely not working. Is that? That one's not working. Okay, so I've only got two now. What? So that one, 2 and 4. and 6. So it is working, it's just not very good. Right, I'm very quickly going to put some of this conductive paint onto these bits here. I've done it before on keyboards where they're very non-responsive or you have to give them a firm push to work. So let's just put something down here. Really, it's just these first 6 or 7 that's needing done, and I'll refrain from doing the 6, 7 thing that seems to be the craze at the moment. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of this in. Way too much. Just need to apply it to both parts, and we'll zoom in so you get a better view. We'll leave that to dry and then we'll come back and see if that's made any difference. Okay, looking at that now, that actually looks like it's fully dried. Try and put it all back together again. Hopefully that'll be this. Let's lift this up. Seems to have done the trick. I don't know if you can hear that. Turn that volume up. God, that was loud. Okay, I'm going to fit the keys back on, do another test and see if all the keys now work reliably. Right, just looking at this, I've just marked 4 more keys that are still not quite right. If you remember, I only did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only did these ones, which were the faulty ones, but these 4 seem to be so they're not quite right. So I need to go over and do the same thing with them, and then I think we should be good. But these ones are all working now. After all of that, now we can put it back together and we should be ready to finish up. Right, it's all back together, so let's power it up. And there we go. Now, this thing, looking at it, I just don't even know where to start, if I'm totally honest. I don't know what that is. Pitch bend. That works. Seems like it's an analog type of thing, I mean, just from looking at it. It feels like every time I turn it on, these are different. I mean, it's absolutely, it sounds incredible. I have no idea where to even start with something like this. But it did come with a manual, which I thought initially I wasn't wasn't going to need, but how wrong was I? Yeah, really, really glad to get this working. As you know, I really do like the music-based items to fix. I'm going to go and spend a couple of hours with this, trying to learn this. And all that we replaced, oh, look at that. That's a nice little light show, isn't it? So we had one one IC and one fuse that had failed. And for those parts, which was about £3 or £4, if that, which is about what, $5, $6, we now have a fully functional unit, and we can't say fairer than that. I think we'll wrap up the video there for today. If you're on the mobile app, you may see a thing that says hype on it just about now. If you see that, please do consider giving that a little click. Otherwise, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Please consider subscribing, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.